I think my favorite thing about being in Laramie is how easy it is to get out to the mountains. I love rock climbing and hiking and biking and all of that sort of stuff, so I thought it might be nice to bring a little bit of the mountains into town, somewhere where you could stumble upon it in more of an urban setting. You know, I've always loved finding art in places, finding street art, finding murals. It's so cool to be walking down an alley that's kind of grungy and gross, and you stumble across something just beautiful and colorful. So my good friend Travis had told me that this project was happening and invited me to come to the meetings and see if I was interested in it, and I was just really excited that Laramie was going to start getting some of these colorful places.
It's not that I get irritated that there's a blank wall, but I'm like, there could be something really cool right there.
It's my neighborhood, it's my hometown, and it's my art and my friends' art.
It was right after Travis Ivey's, and people were able to see it finished, and I think after that everyone kind of agreed, like, oh, okay, this is doable. Like, it doesn't have to be a train and an elk or a Cowboy Joe.
The goal of the mural project for us was to get people to donate their walls so that we could make art that we felt was relevant to town and ourselves and our own expression, rather than, you know, painting a company logo or, you know, something themed like that. If we can keep ourselves being creative and doing what inspires us, then I think we're going to make better art.
I went to school for art right out of high school. I've always loved to do art, but in all honesty, for the past couple of years, I do art for people, specifically for tattoos. I don't often get a chance to draw just whatever I want to draw, you know? Sometimes I get to tattoo just random artwork that I've come up with, but a lot of times people have a really, really specific idea of what they want. They have a specific style, they have a specific color scheme, they have an exact image in mind that they want tattooed. And so that was fun with the mural, you know. I got to pick the colors and I got to do whatever the hell I wanted to, in all honesty. I tend towards a more cartoony, kind of just bold lines design. I really like the idea that something kind of geometric or abstract could give the impression of something natural. So like the canopies, just being kind of strange shapes and solid colors. I like the bright graphic nature. I had steps, so I could do like the darkest screen, and then I did the next screen, and then the next screen, and then this purple, and then this purple, you know. I broke it into steps so it would seem manageable. You know, at the end of the day, I could be like, sweet, I still have this color of green, the trees, and the outlining. The next, you know, tattooing isn't like that so much. Tattooing's more just like beat on somebody until they're done for the day.
One guy was saying when he drove over the bridge, he noticed Talal's painting, and it drew him into the downtown.
I came to Laramie to go to Wyotech, ended up sticking around. When I worked at a hot rod shop, it was like, you do stuff for the customer. And so whatever the customer wants, that's what you're doing. So now I'm trying to develop more meaning behind my artwork before creating it. That part was hard for me, trying to figure out what do I want to portray, what do I think is important, and at the same time, what are people gonna like? The title of the mural is Tierra y Libertad, which is land and freedom, because it has to do with the workers' freedom and the workers' rights, but it also has to do with the land. Like, buying stuff locally, I feel, is really important. And growing things locally is very important too. It's important to our local Laramie community, our economy here. That's why I was kind of excited about doing the mural on this building. And that's also why I chose the character of a farm worker. So I chose to use a style from the 1930s because there was a lot of social change going on at that time, but also mixed with a more urban, modern kind of style as well, more maybe sort of graffiti inspired as well. And the reason for that is that it also speaks about the modern workers today, like workers around the world that are negatively affected by global capitalism and globalization. I like the idea of everybody being able to view my artwork, but nobody actually owning it. Because in a way I still own it, but in a way everybody in Laramie owns it because they can view it, they can enjoy it anytime they want.
I've always loved this wall because of the hollyhocks that are here, and it's kind of got a lot of history for downtown Laramie and the people who grew the flowers and watered them. And I always missed them when they were gone in the wintertime. So I always had this idea of painting hollyhocks here, like that were kind of trompe-l'oeil, almost the exact same hollyhocks. So when they died out in the wintertime, they would still be there on the wall. The bugs kids love, and the Mr. Peanut was a special request by the building owner. It's perfect for the wall, it's perfect for the community, it's symbolic of downtown Laramie. Why would you not want hollyhocks on a big white blank wall in town, It designed itself.
I went to school to get an art degree, and I paint landscapes mainly, and now I've been recently doing a lot of spray paint, stencil work. Everything's concrete here. Literally everything we can see right now is concrete, and there's some trees over there, and buildings, so it's kind of a nice little break from that. I feel that man was created to be in community. So I tried to show the layers of roots in a community and how deep they are, and then the further away from it, kind of the maverick person, the farthest away, has less roots. When they get away from the community, the roots are less deep. I did try to show that it's windy, so as they got away from the group, they weren't able to handle the wind as much. Just coming together as Laramie, I see us as the giant group of trees. I love that it's outside. I really like street art for that reason. The fact that it's accessible to everybody. You don't have to go into a gallery to find it. It's not, I think a gallery at times can kind of have this up-class sort of feel, and so people won't go in there. But this is for everybody, kids, everybody loves it. Loves to see something on a wall, and I like that it's free. I'll probably be here forever, I'm guessing. I love Laramie.
I didn't estimate right how much paint this wall would suck up because it's a very heavily textured wall. So it used a lot of paint and a lot more time to get good coverage for everything, because all the colors are supposed to be very, in this style at least, very flat with lots of good coverage, and it's just difficult with that amount of texture on the wall.
Yeah, because of the large scale, I had to use a lot of bucket paint and aerosol paint. And the aerosol really helped because of the texture. It was really hard to use the brush on, so spray painting was the ideal medium. And plus, it's a lot more physical. You have to use your whole body, and you have to run across the street to get a perspective.
Tattooing is so small and it's so close to you, so you're always focusing on something, 6 inches or a foot in front of your face. And to color a big area in tattooing, you're just doing these tiny little circles over and over and over and over again for hours. You definitely need to do things right the first time with tattooing. There's no painting over, there's no going back and fixing. So it was way different to always be moving away from a mural, getting 20 feet away to check out the composition versus you're 6 inches away and you're working off a really specific stencil. This was way more loose, for sure. And as far as surfaces go, concrete's easier.
It's a lot more fun than sitting in the studio with a little brush and painting little details. But you don't have to paint little details when you're working this big. You can paint big details.
I found that it's harder to do detail, or to make detail work from a distance. So you could actually paint a lot broader and bigger scale. So a fine brush wouldn't work at all here.
I think it kind of makes Laramie look like we're really community oriented and we really care about having a strong community. You know, we want to keep things looking nice. We don't want them to look run down. We want to bring color and light into these spaces.
While I was painting the mural, a lot of people were walking by and said that they really appreciated all the, seeing all the murals go up downtown, and they really liked it. Because I'd like for people to like my artwork.
I want people, when they walk by a mural that I did, just to make them smile, in all honesty. I don't have a huge message to convey necessarily, but if you can kind of brighten somebody's day, that's awesome.
The Laramie Mural Project is organized by Laramie Main Street Associates and the University of Wyoming Art Museum. Funding comes from the City of Laramie, the Guthrie Family Foundation, and the Wyoming Arts Council through the Wyoming State Legislature and the National Endowment for the Arts.